Yeah, so many thanks to all of you who are here on a Monday morning. I'm a kid that grew up down the street. My parents, who are here today, they're back there, still live in the house that I grew up in on Poplar Way. We moved into that house in 1991 when we moved here from Seoul, South Korea. Lynnwood looked a lot different back in those days. For example, I remember there was one hole-in-the-wall Korean market on 196 and Highway 99, and which you would have totally missed if you really weren't looking for it. And that is a far cry from the H Mart that we all know and love down the street, and the half a dozen other Korean markets that are in the area now. Lynnwood was very much an idyllic place for me to grow up, for my brother and myself. I don't remember being teased or bullied for being different or not speaking English well, which I realize I'm very lucky. And two of my closest friends in elementary school were this white kid named Jimmy and an Iranian kid named Hamid. We were welcomed in each other's homes and had a lot of fun playing together, mostly video games, but yeah. Fast forward 25 years, and when I saw the request for the proposal for the I Love Lynnwood project, I thought about how I could contribute with my story. I realized that I actually knew very little about the history of this place that I grew up in. So I thought of no better person to meet with and talk to than Betty Lou Gang, who's here today. Also visiting from Alaska, so she made the long trip to be here, so thank you, Betty. And she was then recently honored as Lynnwood's official historian, and she told me her stories of growing up in the 30s and the 40s in Alderwood Manor, which is what this area was called then. And what I noticed in her stories is that the early homesteaders and families like mine had something in common. And many of the homesteaders then were European immigrants trying to find a better place to live and to a place to call home. And my parents moved us here from Korea for the same reasons, so that my brother and I could have better opportunities. And we all settled where we are today, which has welcomed us and allowed us to build community. And today, people from different parts of the world continue to arrive in this region for different reasons, whether they be economic, political, religious, and so on. There's a traditional Korean handicraft and art form similar to a quilt called jogakbo. That's spelled Jogakbo, jogakbo. Jogak means a piece or a fragment, and bo means a cloth or for covering or wrapping. And as the name suggests, it's composed of many different pieces of fabric of all shapes, sizes, and colors. But despite the irregularities and the differences among the pieces, they're balanced and fit together harmoniously to create a whole that's greater than the sum of its parts. This is what I try to represent in my art installation out there. And my hope is that Lynnwood continues to be the kind of place that welcomes new arrivals and creates not only the physical space, but also the economic, social, and emotional space for them to thrive. I would like to give thanks to those, excuse me, my phone is ringing. Should have turned this off earlier. I would like to give thanks to those who were part of this process and made this possible. Betty Gang for her tireless work in preserving history and memory of this place we call home. Fred Wong in the city of Lynnwood and the PFD for giving me the opportunity to tell my story. Dylan Newworth, who's back there, and the Western Neon team that built and installed the piece. It was a great pleasure working with you guys, and I hope we can do it again soon. The Elizabeth Ruth Wallace Foundation for providing the means to make this possible. And last but not least, for all of you who are here to experience this together, let's make Lynnwood the best we can make it. Thank you.